story. He came out with the chills, and he's the one that brought us the story. End the story or be in the story. Don't start something and you ain't gonna finish it. He can't say anything that's gonna choose me to think of him differently now, but he could say something or say nothing.
I don't even know what you just said right there.
Because he can say something that can change my mind, but he can also say nothing and not change my mind.
I feel like I'm in Billy Madison right now. Remember the scene at the end? We are now all.
It's a great movie, though.
It is a great movie. Young Peyton, 10 seconds. Anything you could hear from The Rock that would change your mind?
Yeah, I just want to hear if you smell what The Rock is cooking. That's all I want to hear.
Oh, my God. All right,
good?
gentlemen.
Is that not good?
No, it's not good. Not good. I would do it, but my voice is so weak right now. I continue to lose it. I can't strain it because I got to finish the show. All right, it's time for a little one word. We're back live on Stadium in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is Coach and Company. We are live on Stadium and all over this great land of ours, available in over 100 million homes. And great news for those of you who like to watch on YouTube, it is now up and working. If you'd like to see your name or your opinion show up on national TV, you can do that via a super sticker here. Can't do premium yet until the show or this channel gets to a certain point, but you can still be a part of what we are doing. All right, we are more than just a sports betting brand. That's important, but it's not everything. We want to make you a smarter sports fan, and it's just a lot of fun to talk about different topics that maybe you didn't know about or hear a different perspective on. So it's now time, ladies and gentlemen, for a little one word. All right, gentlemen, here's how we do it. I start with young Peyton. We go right down the line and piggyback the topics, and then Soupy brings it home, and I will participate as well. So, topic number 1, and it's the gift that just keeps on giving. A day after Nico, who's leaving Tennessee because he wants more NIL money. He signs with UCLA, reportedly about $2 million. They already had a quarterback from App State who they were paying $1.2 in NIL money. Now, in a reversal of fortunes, that young quarterback is now leaving UCLA, and he's going to Tennessee. You can't make this up. Young Peyton, one word on quarterbacks flipping schools, sort of.
Weak. I thought Joey Aguilar was transferring from App State to UCLA, but now since Nico is transferring to UCLA, Aguilar is afraid of a little quarterback competition, and he's got to fail. But I guess he sees the writing on the wall because Iamaleava comes in a sophomore. Aguilar has only 1 year left. I guess he wants to go there where it's easiest for him to get playing time. But this whole NIL thing is going to end up ruining college football, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better. But that's weak.
High five. Did these two high five each other at the airport when they crossed each other when one was going to California and one was going to Nashville? This is going to be the new norm. And I would be willing to say someone's going to miss the beach weather in UCLA when it's cold in Tennessee. So I just say high five each other at the airport.
Barter. Teams are basically just swapping players now. This seems to be a new trend. We have general managers. We're going to have trades, free agency. This kind of feels like NFL 2.0.
Upgrade. I think this is an upgrade for the Vols. Joey Aguilar, he's a great quarterback. 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns. Nico last year, that was all Dylan Sampson that ran that Tennessee offense. Nico did not do much. He had under 5 yards per completion. I think this is a better upgrade for Tennessee.
Yeah, my one word is easy. Like, it's way too easy for this to be happening in college sports right now. It wasn't that long ago, guys, that if you transferred, you had to sit out a full year, and there was no money involved. Now you can just go all willy-nilly wherever you want to go. It's absolutely too easy. And I also like your take there, young Peyton. What happened to little healthy competition? Apparently, that doesn't happen anymore in any sport. Now, let's stay in college football because the NCAA has announced that they are getting ready to take 150 rules out of their rule book that would essentially allow them to pay players directly. so far, NIL has been a collective. You got this group outside of the school. But now this could maybe lean to where everything's inside of a box and we get some control over this money. Young Peyton, one word on the NCAA addressing or trying to this issue.
Finally, it's about time that the wheels are in motion for players to get paid. Everyone's making money now. The coaches, the schools, the networks, they're making millions, if not billions, in advertising revenue. So when fans take hours out of their day to watch these games, they're watching a TV show, and the players are actors. Coaches are the directors. Networks are the executive producers calling all the shots, but they're all making money off the players. Finally, the players get a little something for their efforts.
Management, because money management is now going to be key and going to be a lot easier if it's direct deposit. Now you can teach these kids about money management because you're only going to get it in some, not just one big bulk of money coming in. Money management is not going to be really easy.
Progression every year, it seems like the student athlete gets another win. Now, if they could just get a handle on all the movement, everything that's going on, but as far as the payments, some nice progression.
Structure. This is exactly what the NCAA needed. Now I think we're going to start to see more things with this NIL. I think there's going to be a salary cap. I think there's going to be incentive for people from the smaller divisions going to the big ones. That means the smaller divisions get money for those players to go to the Power Five. So I think this structure is a good start.
Realistic is my one word. Finally, these players are going to have a realistic view on exactly how valuable they are. And I think a lot of players are going to realize that they're not as valuable as they think they are because NIL money is starting to dry up. We just saw that with Nico. If you're not making money for them, you don't just get paid to show up. It's about name, image, and likeness. It's about the stars. It's not about every single player that's playing in college sports. Now, staying along those same lines, Shelton Henderson, he's a top 100 player. He had already signed with Duke, but now he's reversing his fortunes. And he's going to go to where? Miami. He's going to stay in the ACC. Why is he doing that? That's because Jay Lucas is the new head coach. Where did Jay Lucas come from? He came from Duke, and he left before the NCAA tournament to take over that head coaching job. This cannot sit well in Duke. Young Peyton, one word on Jay Lucas stealing a Blue Devil top recruit.
My word is bro, because they're bros. Of course, Henderson's following him to Miami, man. Jay Lucas was his main recruiter at Duke when he was there. They're good friends, family friends, probably. They're both from the same part of Texas. Both went to Bel Air High School out here. So just after knowing their backgrounds, you can say this was expected because they're bros.
Really? That's my one word. Really? You choose Miami basketball, not Miami football, not Miami baseball, but basketball? You could have stayed at Duke and maybe put some banners up, a high draft pick. You chose Miami over Duke. Really?
Okie doke. This is another problem we're having in college sports. The commit, the decommit, it just seems to be going on. And I'm with you. We go back to the them sit out a year and let's see if this problem continues.
Sunshine. He gets to go now to the Sunshine of Miami, hanging out in Corals Gables. What? He's going to play 1 year. He'll make his NIL and he'll try to go to the NBA. It doesn't really matter where you play anymore. It just matters how you perform in that 1 year you're playing and boost your own stock. So he's going to sit in the Sunshine State.
My one word is history. Clearly, this young kid did not look at the history of NIL at Miami. You guys know the story. You had this really wealthy guy, and all of a sudden he's now $200 million in debt, and a lot of the players didn't get their cash. So, Mr. Henderson, there's no money issues at Duke. You didn't look up your history. All right, finally. Yesterday, there's a reason why Nico, the GM for the Dallas Mavericks, does not have open press conferences. Can't believe some of the things he said. But this is one thing that really stuck out to me. Producer man.
Did the anger and outrage from the fan base, has that exceeded what you were kind of planning for?
Yeah, good question. I did know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level.
What? You did not know the level that your best player, a generational talent who took you to the NBA Finals less than a year ago, you didn't know? Young Peyton, you live in Dallas-Fort Worth, 9 months out of the year. One word for this guy in 5 seconds, just punting any respect we've ever could have had for him.
Clueless. This has to be the stupidest thing that's ever come out of a GM's mouth. I mean, how tone deaf is this guy? But at the same presser yesterday, Nico said, if you don't like this trade, you don't like Anthony Davis. Like, dude, what? It's so obvious that this Luka trade has come from team owner Patrick Dumont, but now Nico has to answer to this stuff. But Nico is really sounding more and more ridiculous every time he opens his mouth. Nico, do yourself a favor. Stay away from the microphones because you're clueless.
Stop doing interviews. Stop showing yourself around. Wait till the Lakers series over, because if the Minnesota sweep the Lakers, this topic is pretty much dead.
I've seen the cutaway. Dishonest. There's no way that you can be in the front office and around this franchise daily, around this fan base daily at the games, and not realize how much Luka means to the team. And maybe there is a conspiracy to get the Mavs to Vegas, and they're just using Nico as the fall guy.
Titanic, because every time Nico opens his mouth, it's an iceberg just scratching into the ship, known as Nico's job status. Come on, man. It's Luka. I think next to Dirk, Luka is one of the most important players of that franchise. He's, popular in jersey sales. What did you think? Really, you could have just said we knew how popular he was, but we feel like we had to make this trade.
Thank you. My one word is Barkley. Listen to your boy Charles Barkley, because last night on Inside the NBA, he went off on you. And you guys are friends. You've got to understand when you're the GM. And I was going to go with Cuban as my one word, as in bring Mark Cuban back. But he got his money. He's out here. He was also very vocal. I've never seen in the history of my time being at ESPN or any of the big places I've been a more step in it. I like the word clueless. Executive in my life. I'm trying to figure out, I know he's got all of these accolades that he's had before he got to Dallas, but this one right here will probably keep him from getting any other major job in his career. He better hope that Dallas keeps him, because if any other NBA franchise even thinks about bringing this dude in, all you got to do is watch that first 5 seconds. Never seen anything like it in my life. Did you say they said, Peyton, if you don't like Anthony Davis?
He said if you don't like what did he say? He said if you don't like Anthony, hold on, wait, let me pull it up again. I had it written down here.
We got all the time in the world. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you don't like this trade, you don't like Anthony Davis. He said if you don't like this trade, you don't like Anthony Davis, which is crazy.
Wow. Absolutely bananas. The only thing that could be good for him is if the Lakers do get beaten in the first round. Then people would probably leave him alone. All right, gentlemen, good job on one word. All right, we are about halfway home. Everything is working now. Stadium, YouTube, social media. We've got it rocking. Coming up on the other side, we're talking a little hoop it up. We got 3 big NBA games tonight, including the Lakers. Will they go down 0-2 at home? And also, in about 17 minutes, my boys, Young Lettuce, Soupy, they go head-to-head. Soupy coming off a big victory last week. Can he make it 2 in a row? It's our prize fight. It's Coaching Company live, as always, on Stadium. Let's go. All right. We continue on here on our YouTube page and on social media. We have more best bets, but we like to package it up in a nice little thing we like to call Round the Rink. Alrighty, the NHL, like the NBA, is moving into their postseason. Mark is back from JTS. Mark, where are we headed today on the ice, sir?
Coach, we are making sure our mute button is off, and we are starting this skate with the Florida Panthers under a first period goal at plus 120. The numbers look prime for just this huge goose egg. Andrei Vasilevsky for Tampa Bay has been Fort Knox early, especially early in games where he's blanked opponents in the opener in 4 of his last 7 starts. He's flashing glove saves like he's auditioning for Swan Lake. Meanwhile, Florida's top 6 has managed exactly 0 first period tallies in 8 of the last 12 games. They've left their sticks at Starbucks. The Cats power play, more like a sleepy kitten, just a 14% conversion rate on opening frame opportunities. Roll with the under, because this first period is going to be chillier than a Siberian spring. And for our next play, we're taking the Golden Knights on the three-way money line at minus 130. The Golden Knights have throttled the Wild in regulation in 3 straight matchups. They're skating circles around the Wild like they've got GPS on their blades, turning every odd man rush into a highlight reel feast. Vegas's forecheck is more relentless than the Kardashian paparazzi swarm, and their transition game, slicker than a Bond car on ice. Meanwhile, Minnesota's power play looks about as sharp as a butter knife, can't buy a goal when it matters. Roll with the Knights to close it in 60. Let the chips fall where they may, because tonight, the only wild thing in the building will be the after party in Sin City. And that is your Skate Around the Rink.
I'm going to let that breathe just for a second, just so everybody can just soak it in all over our brand new YouTube page. Real quick, the model for NHL, I know we're growing as we go. You got about 10 seconds. How's the model been doing?
Been firing away. Over the since the playoffs started, we have hit at a 77% hit rate.
Not bad. 77%. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coach and Company live, as always, on Stadium and all of their networks, Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku TV. Coming up in 9 days, 2 more big platforms will be signing on. Now, during the break, we stay live on our brand new YouTube page. We just had Mark on, and he told us that the model at JTS has been hitting at a 77% clip since, and I can't remember where he said, I think since beginning of the month. We'll make sure we have the right stat, because in my mind, a lot of shots to the head. But 77% is the number we talked about. And by the way, bring everybody up. Bring Mark back up. I don't want to wait 25 minutes. Mark, can you re-emphasize to the good people at home what you just told me so I don't screw it up?
The beginning of the NHL playoffs, which is last Saturday, the model projections have hit at a 77% hit rate.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I should have been able to remember that. All right. By the way, we will put Round the Rink. If you missed it at the break, we'll put it up on social media later today. We got more NHL picks. All right. We got 3 games on the hardwood tonight, which means it is now time right here to hoop it up. All right, we're going to start with the late game tonight, because that's the big one. And young Peyton, your dad is a huge Lakers fan. He's on ESPN radio out here in L.A. I know you grew up in L.A., but right now, this is the biggest game the Lakers have ever played in the Luka era. They're down 1 game to love. If they don't win tonight, they go down 0-2 heading back to Minnesota. How do you see this one playing out tonight, sir?
Well, you said love. I just love watching the Wolves on the road. They play with so much energy, and the supporting cast made so many shots in game 1, which is why Edwards had 9 assists. He trusted the guys around him. We'll probably see a similar game tonight if just some of those guys make shots again. But LeBron knows how important this game is for the Lakers. I don't think he's going to let the Wolves take a 2-0 lead. I like the Wolves at plus 5.5 to cover, but the Lakers, I think, are going to win this game in a close one.
Yeah, it's really interesting as we show the odds courtesy of BetMGM. Raphael, let me come over to you, because depending on the books, 5.5, it's 6 in some places. But this kind of feels like the same thing that happened last night in the Detroit Knicks game. Detroit late blowout in game 1, but they came back and ended up winning by 6 in game 2. Do you feel like the same thing could happen tonight, except the Lakers are laying the 6?
No, because I just think Minnesota is going to be too big for the small Lakers, who don't have answers for their big guys. And this is the late game. Please wait if you want to take the Lakers, or if you're going to take the Lakers, bet it now, because this one will move to 6, 6.5. If you like the other side, get it now, because the number is going to move. This total opened up at 217.5. It is now 210.5. Defense, 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 and I like Minnesota's defense.
Down 7 points, Big Chuck. And I think a lot of the results that we had over the weekend has led to these numbers falling. We had, one team score over 100 that lost over the weekend. It was absolutely crazy. So to get to even 210 tonight could be a stretch, Charles.
That's the first thing that caught my eye was that it was 217.5, now 210, 210.5, which it makes sense. These two have went under in 5 straight. I think it's going to be a defensive battle that the Lakers are to win because we keep seeing the zigzag theory. They know if they're going to win, they have to keep it low scoring. I like the under.
And it also feels like when you're talking about player props, and I know we're going to have prize picks coming up in a couple of minutes, Soupy, that this has got to be a LeBron Luka game. They can't rely on maybe Austin Rivers, but when you look at the player prop market, wouldn't you think we lean into those? And do you think the sports books are going to bump those totals up just a little bit?
LeBron and Luka, yeah, they're going to bump those up because those are the two most important players. I think Austin Reeves or Jamar, those guys are going to get. I'm looking at Rudy Gobert because the Lakers cannot defend the inside. Gobert is one of the best rebounders in the game. He's a defensive player of the year. I think he's going to have a big impact on this game again.
Real quick, Raphael, as I come over to you, if they lose and they go down 2-love, would that be an opportunity to sprinkle on the Lakers? Because the number, I would think, would be pretty good heading into Game 3, no?
I'd probably look at Lakers series price. If they go down 2 games at home and have to go to Minnesota, that Lakers series price might be too big just to pass up because you have LeBron there.
No doubt about it. All right, let's flip the script now. Let's go over to the first game of the day in the Eastern Conference, and I'm talking about the Bucks and the Pacers. And young Peyton, we're getting word that Damian Lillard has been upgraded to questionable. He came in for just a heartbeat in game number 1. How big of a difference getting 4 in your mind does Damian Lillard and his health play tonight?
Huge. I will hold off on everything until we know if Dame plays, because if he does, this series will be tied. If he doesn't, it's not only 2-0, but maybe a blowout tonight. The Bucks, when they only have Giannis. Kyle Kuzma, oh my goodness, not one single point, rebound, or assist. He was a minus 24 on the court in 21 minutes before Doc Rivers said, "Get the heck off the floor." I'm sorry, Kuz, but that is awful. I mean, Milwaukee needs something out of him. And when I say Milwaukee, I mean the Bucks front office and Doc Rivers, because they won't be there next year if the Bucks get swept.
And he was the big piece. He was supposed to be the guy that came in to fill in the points for Chris Middleton. And that just hasn't happened. Big Chuck, let me come over to you because this is a very high total, at least as far as a playoff game is concerned. We're talking about 229 in most markets. Is this also an underplay for you?
This is the one I'm actually looking at the over, especially between these two. The Bucks have went over in 9 of the last 12, and it looks like Pacers in 8 of the last 12 at home. One that's kind of sticking out, but definitely looks like Damian Lillard would play. It's at that 4 now. It was at 6.5. I like the over in this one.
And JTS, the model, Mark in the chat says has the under 228.5 and Indiana at 4.5. Again, shop around the number, half a point here, a point there. But Raphael, let me come over to you because the Pacers have been one of the best kept secrets in the entire second half. They're playing phenomenal basketball. They blow out the Bucks in game number 1. Can they do it in game number 2?
If they play like they did in game 1, because all they did is let the Greek Freaks score and that no one else scored. The rest of the starters only had 14 points, the Milwaukee Bucks. They need stuff from Brook Lopez, Kuzma. Just show up. Just tie your shoes. Just show up and do a better game than game 1. But I think the Pacers defense was the reason why they won that one. And if Lillard comes back, he's going to be rusty. It's not like he's going to come back and dunk 30 points down the throat and shoot threes all over. He's probably going to have some rust.
I think he's going to have a lot of rust. And when you were doing your handicapping for your prize picks, Soupy, was there anybody outside of Giannis or on the Pacers side that you said, I think maybe there's something there?
Kevin Porter Jr. I've been riding with him the last few games with Dame out, and he's been doing pretty well. 14 points of, I believe, 5 of his last 7 games. If Dame's not playing, or even if Dame tries to play, I don't know if he could play maybe 30 minutes, a little under that. Porter will get some more time in, and I think he's going to play an impact. So I like Kevin Porter Jr.
All right, and finally, we flip it over to the third and final game tonight. By the way, DG, a member of our company and the host of Weekday Wagers, he is in the chat. Any questions for him, throw them in the chat. He'll answer for you in real time. He likes Kuzma under 4.5 rebounds, a little juicy, but sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. All right, young Peyton, Oklahoma City came out and beat Memphis by 51 points. 80 points is all they scored. So today, in an unprecedented number in the playoffs, 14.5, 14. We see the numbers on BetMGM there. This is absolutely crazy. Same number for the total at 229. What do you make of this?
Yeah, the Grizzlies aren't even that bad. The Thunder are just that good in all aspects. 6 for 18 from the three-point line was Memphis in game one. That's not bad shooting. Well, it is. But that's the Thunder's perimeter defense with hands in everyone's faces. And I'm sure the Thunder will slip $100 to Jaren Jackson Jr. every time he lets one fly from beyond the arc. God, his shot is ugly. But I really hope the game is somewhat competitive tonight and we don't see a varsity and JV scrimmage like we did in game one.
DG said in the chat that the Grizzlies plus 51.5 is minus 4,000. That's a lock tonight, an absolute lock. Charles, when you score 131 points on one side, you normally don't have to worry about the over not coming in. But that's exactly what happened in game number one. Do we see this 229 be threatened tonight?
I saw 230 when it opened. Now I'm seeing I saw some 228.5, some 229s. It actually went under 9 of their last 11 meetings. I think we could potentially see another blowout, maybe even look at the Grizzlies team total under.
What about you, Soupy?
I don't think it's going to be a blowout like we saw in the last game. I think the Grizzlies will start to adjust. I will take the over in that. Do I think it's going to be 51? No. Do I think it could be 20, 25? Possibly.
Why are we seeing so many big spreads, Raphael, this year? Because even in the regular season, I could not bring myself to play a 14, 15, 16-point spread, but we saw those a lot.
This is something I've been saying. It's been a two-team race all season long. We kept on saying, the Lakers. We kept on saying the Cavaliers. But no, it's been Celtics and OKC, period. It's one of those two are going to win the NBA championship. I have never seen an NBA playoff game with minus 14.5 and 90% of the money still coming in on the minus 14.5. There's a reason why that is.
Are you kidding me right now? 90%. Young Peyton, I'll let you bring this one home for us. When you're talking that much money on one side, I hate using the public or whatever, but to me, the Thunder are the one team that no matter what, their foot is always on the gas pedal. Even at the end of the season, they were still blowing teams out when they had nothing to play for. Do they try to make a statement tonight?
Of course, every game is a statement game for them because so many people are still questioning their how old these guys are, if they have enough to get enough experience to get to the finals. So hopefully the Thunder can just put their foot on the gas and make a statement again tonight and in the whole series.
Yeah, and they could, if they can finish this series, guys, very quickly. I think the Clippers and the Nuggets is going to be a really long series. I really do. So I think the Thunder could get some much-needed rest. If they finish them off in 4, they could probably have 4 or 5 days of rest at least, because I think Clippers and Nuggets is going to go 6, possibly even 7 games in that series, and they would play the winner of that. All right, gentlemen, good job on Hoop It Up. All right, still to come on the other side, it's time for a little prize fight. My guys are ducking and weaving, and Soupy is talking we hope Soupy is talking trash on the other side. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, it is up live now. The Browns and the Giants. They are fielding trade talks. We'll discuss that during the break. But also, we lock in everything at the end of the show. We got a lot to get to. It's Coach and Company, as always, right here live on Stadium. All right, you OGs and degenerates out there, we continue on here on our YouTube page. Raphael, I'm coming to you because on ESPN.com today there was a report that the Browns and or the Giants are fielding calls, last-minute calls before the NFL draft coming up on Thursday. Does that make sense, and why would they be doing that?
Because there's so many question marks coming into this draft. Everyone knows who's going to be number one, but after that, it could be trade after trade or bump after bump or quarterback after quarterback. No one knows what's going to happen with that number 2 pick. There's been 4 names mentioned of who's going to be selected on that number 2 pick. So if it's just a weird name, then it's all chaos after that. So we could see record trades in the first 10 picks. We can also see record quarterbacks in the first 25 picks on a weak quarterback draft class.
Soupy, this is your bread and butter over there at Prize Picks. What are you thinking?
The Steelers are going to try to get a quarterback. I think they're the ones talking to Cleveland. They're talking to the Giants because the Giants are. I feel like they're trying to play chess with all this relationship with Shedeur Sanders and getting him at the pro day and having him come in for a private workout. I feel like that's just trying to gauge other teams to try to trade up to get Sanders. And I think with the relationship the Steelers and the Giants have, I think that's going to be a perfect trade partner.
Are you much into the NFL draft, young Peyton?
Yeah, I am. I just feel like a lot of the teams are just moving things around just because of a lot of the quarterbacks being in the same tier, kind of very similar talent, very similar quarterbacks, all kind of at that same tier 2 level, I guess, if you will. But I think we're going to see a lot of movement.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like there's that marquee guy, Charles, is like, that guy we have to take it. Because of that, we're seeing all this movement before we even get to Thursday night.
Exactly. And I thought the Giants were really trying to play games with the Saints, knowing that they were looking at Shedeur. But I think the Saints may even be backing off and looking at Tyler Warren from Penn State and just looking in the second round for a quarterback. So it just may be a big smokescreen.
Yeah, the Giants have 2 quarterbacks they signed, Russell Wilson and
Sierra.
Winston.
No, not Sierra.
Justin Fields.
No,
Sierra
isn't Fields
Wilson.
with the Jets?
Oh, yeah, he's up Fields. Wrong.
No,
wrong.
it's the funny guy, the funny
Jameis
one.
Winston.
Yeah, Jameis Winston. There you go.
Funny
All right,
guy.
we're back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. We are live here, Coach and Company on Stadium. You can also watch us on demand throughout the day if you missed any of the show on our brand new YouTube page and also right here on social media. Now, every single week, I've got to keep these guys separated. They absolutely despise each other, which makes for great content. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a little prize fight. Let's go. All right, so last week my man went 3-0. The rules are the winner last week gets to go first the next week. All right, Soupy, can you back up your perfect week? You are up, sir.
I'm actually on 2 straight weeks of a perfect week, so let's try to go for 3. I'm starting with the boy, Zach Edey, the rookie from Memphis. He has struggled going against Isaiah Hartenstein and the Thunder. He's gone under 19.5 points and rebounds in each of the 5 matchups. He was in single digits in both categories in the last game. I think that happens again. I'm going to the other side, Zach Hartenstein. I think he's going to have a big game because he's gone over this prop, 19.5 points and rebounds in 7 straight games against the Grizzlies. He played a big part in that win in game 1. I think he's going to do it again. And let's go to the diamond. Chris Bubik. He's going against the Rockies. The Rockies. Well, this is a good competitive NL West, except for the Rockies because they are in last place. They are last in batting average. And on the road, they have the highest strikeout rate. Give me Chris Bubik more than 7 strikeouts.
I actually really love all 3 of those plays. Young Peyton, I got to come over to you. I feel like Soupy is starting to find his sweet spot. And when he finds a sweet spot, he's very difficult to beat. You're up.
I'm glad you like those plays, Coach. That's great. First, we're going with Chet Holmgren, more than 15.5 points. The Grizzlies allowed 24 points a game to power forwards this season. Chet had 19 in an absolute blowout, so hopefully tonight's a little closer. He'll be on the floor more. Next, we're taking Anthony Edwards, more than 10.5 on rebounds and assists. He's just scored more. He just hasn't really scored too much against the Lakers, put the ball in the basket. He's more of an assist guy. He's going to be on the floor a lot more tonight. I think tonight's going to be a lot closer. As long as those guys hit a couple shots, the rebounds will come just simply by him playing 35, 40 minutes. My demon pick, though, is Chris Bassett, more than 2.5 earned runs allowed. Bassett has just a 0.77 ERA this year. So you're thinking, why is he doing that? He gets lit up at Minute Maid Park. The Astros roster is hitting 256 as a team against him, but some pitchers just hate throwing in certain ballparks, and maybe it's the mound or something. But Bassett has a 6.52 ERA at Minute Maid and has allowed 8 homers in 29 innings. So I'm going with him more than 2.5 earned runs allowed.
All right. Very good. Soupy, do you feel like maybe at the start of Peyton's take right there, he got a little nervous because he was talking trash to the person who runs this entire brand and just kind of stumbled over the first 8 or 10 seconds? Did you feel that too?
I'm starting to feel that he's getting shook. I know finals are coming up for you. You're a little nervous. You're a little off your game, but it's okay, young man. It's okay.
Yeah. Are you a little nervous there, Peyton? I feel like I agree with Soupy on this one.
No. I saw producer man in the background cracking up, so I started cracking up. It was kind of funny.
Oh, so you couldn't focus on what we were doing. You were focused on what was going on backstage.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, yeah. Behind the scenes, yes. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You're focused on something that the people at home cannot see. All right. God, I have so much teaching to do. All right, we've got a bunch of best bets. Soupy, I'm trying to take a left turn here. What did you have to say there? Please let the whole.
I'm saying he's a second generation broadcaster, and he's just making rookie moves.
Facts.
We've heard that one, Coach.
Oh, is that a redo? That a redo?
We're re-emphasizing because you keep making the wrong moves. Don't keep making the wrong moves.
We're reusing jokes and then using words that he cannot spell, like re-emphasizing. All right, we're gonna have a spelling bee one of these days, and it's gonna be Soupy against everybody else. All right, gentlemen, well done on your prize picks. All right, a lot of you weren't here at the top of the hour. You got lives. You got things to do. We get it. That's why we watch all the line movement throughout the day. We also have weekday wagers, but right here, right now, it's time to lock it in. Just get us to the finish line today. 10 seconds or less, 1 or 2 nuggets is all. Let's start with my man, Big Chuck. Charles, you're up.
Day soccer, La Liga, Valencia, Espanyol, the both teams to score. This one is cashed in 5 straight in 6 of the last 7 meetings. Then the premium play of the day takes us to the MLB. Mariners, Red Sox, the over 9. This one has went over the total in 9 of the past 10 games when played at Fenway between these two.
And there you see the QR code on the screen right now. Be a part of that side hustle. You can be way above us when it comes to that bankroll if you join the side hustle from Charles. By the way, Kevin Walls says, let me grab my popcorn for Soupy's trash talk. Not here, but I agree with you, Kevin. It is always entertaining. So Soupy, big boy, coming over to you. What do you got?
It's been 3 straight games the Hurricane have beaten the Devils at home where they're 32-9-1. I'm taking the Hurricanes on the puck line. And Timberwolves, Lakers under 51.5 in the first quarter. This has gone under in 4 of the 5 matchups this year, and both are top 12 in opponents scoring in the first quarter.
Very good. 4 down, 4 to go. Rafi, let's go.
Going to the late game in the playoffs, give me Naz Reid for the Minnesota Timberwolves over 17.5 points and rebounds at -110. He looked like Will Chamberlain. He's going to look like Will Chamberlain again against that Lakers defense. We're going to go to baseball diamond now. Give me the Fathers and the Tigers first 5 under 4 laying the juice at -120. I cannot wait to watch this pitching matchup. And both these two teams, the last 5 games, under 2.5 ERAs for their pitching. I think we're going to have a very ugly under game in this one.
Oh, aren't they always ugly when it's an under, Rafi? They're always ugly. All right, King Lettuce. Before the finals get serious, what do we got today?
Take my Angels to cover tonight. The Pirates just can't score, and Jose Soriano is going to have a bounce-back start tonight for the Angels. And we're taking the under tonight in Chicago and what's going to be a pitcher's duel. 2 aces going at it. Imanaga against Dustin May.
Well, the Cubs are in first place, and your Angels are 1.5 games back. All right, our partnership with JTS is always rocking and rolling. What is our JTS play of the day, Mark?
Coach, we are backing 2 NHL snipers in light of Machine Gun Kelly's birthday yesterday. So we're going to start with Drake Batherson for the Ottawa Senators to get over 1.5 shots on goal. He's done this in 8 straight games, averaging 3.7 shots on goal. We're going to pair him with Vegas's Tomas Hertl to get over 1.5 shots on goal. Hertl's done this in 7 of his last 8 home games with a 3.1 shots on goal average. Put them both together for a plus 111 parlay play of the day.
I once interned for a man named Bruce Hurdle in Wichita, who is now in Denver as a Colorado sportscaster. Interesting nugget. All right, now there is the QR code. Use our code BTT30, and we're going to give you 30 days for free. Check out all the cappers, all the edges, all the algorithms, all that stuff. And so many of you have. Put that extra tool in your toolbox. All right, we end every single show with a little more info to make you a smarter sports bettor. Raphael, what do we got today?
We're going to the NBA. We're going to a very important NBA game. The Indiana Pacers are 3-12 against their spread in their last 15 games against Eastern Conference opponents. Grab this number now because it's going to change when we have a game time decision on Damian Lillard.
All right, very, very good. That is all we have today. But I got to say, I want 10 seconds from each person. Give me an exact result tonight. T-Wolves and the Lakers. Go, young Peyton.
Lakers win by 3.
Wolves win by double digits.
Lakers by 6 and stays under.
Lakers by 4.
Wow. Raphael, you said the T-Wolves by double digits? Here's what we're going to do. If Minnesota wins by double digits, I will allow you to host one segment on the show tomorrow.
Oh,
That's
please,
how
Lakers,
confident I
please,
am.
Lakers win. Please, Lakers win.
That's what's going to happen. Gentlemen, well done today. Appreciate all of you. Producer man, you know what time it is. Give me that one shot. It's now time for all of you to go out into the world and be kind to one another. Be honest with each other and understand this. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man, Young Pate, Raphael, Chuck, Soupy, Producer Man. And don't forget weekday wagers today, 3 p.m. Eastern time on our brand new YouTube channel. This has been Coach and Company live as always right here on Stadium. Have a great day.